Hi, my name's Laura Cunningham, and I'm an account manager here at DNA Genotech. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about our Oragene DNA from Saliva collection kits. I'm sure you're wondering why you should consider collecting saliva for your genetic research and testing. The answer is very simple. Saliva is an anywhere, anytime sample collection. Unlike a painful and invasive blood draw, saliva is easy, reliable, and non-invasive. It's ideal for all donors, including young children. It increases compliance. You can collect high-quality, high-quantity DNA samples. So we have data to support stability for years at ambient temperature. Saliva can be easily sent through the mail as it's non-toxic and no special import permits are required. It's cost-effective and 100% scalable. One of the main advantages of using saliva is its versatility. I'm sure most of you collect salivas in clinic, but you can use saliva to collect in field anywhere as it's portable and stable. You can collect at participants' homes to improve your study compliance. You can use event-based collections to sample from thousands of individuals all at once. And point-of-care collection, so you can improve patient care and convenience. I'm going to touch on a few of these now. In terms of field collection, there is no environment that's too challenging for the Oragene saliva kits. Oragene was designed to be stable at variable and even extreme temperatures. I'm talking hot or cold. You can see here from this example, Dr. Connie Mulligan at the University of Florida used the saliva kits and collected them in Yemen, but really they can be used anywhere in the world. If for some reason a donor can't come to you, no problem. You can definitely send the kits to the participants' homes as they're ideal for self-collection. In fact, a study shows that participants actually prefer to give a saliva sample over an invasive, painful blood draw. A study was done by the Karolinska Institute, and they sampled a cohort of Swedish men. They sent 611 saliva samples through the mail. 490 were returned, and around 93% were returned within the first 3 weeks. As a researcher, I'd be very impressed with those numbers. Event-based collections are a great way to collect from thousands of samples all at once. A really great example of event-based collection are the Spit for the Cure events out of Little Rock, Arkansas. Dr. Susan Kadlabar and her team go to various Run for the Cure events where they collect thousands of saliva samples at once from women participating in these runs. They're working on a breast cancer biobank repository and are looking to achieve 100,000 saliva samples. Anthony Nolan is another great example of event-based collections. They collect from thousands of participants at music-based concert events. Once they started implementing saliva samples, numbers increased, and that's because of two main reasons. One, the limitations of blood, since blood cannot drive growth that registries require to hit their recruitment goals. And two, the flexibility of saliva, right? Home or event-based recruitment. The graph here is a really great depiction of the success. So since they implemented Oragene, that arrow there demonstrates once it was implemented, and then the thick red line shows steady increase, which is great because ultimately this means more matches for people who need transplants. In terms of point-of-care collection, the Peter MacCallum Cancer Centre in Melbourne, Australia, were looking for a way to improve patient care and convenience. As a result, they assessed Oragene and discovered that it was a safe and reliable choice to use instead of blood. They say here that using saliva instead of blood provides a safer environment for sample collection due to the clinician and the patient eliminating the risk of bloodborne infections. And they found that the quality and quantity was the same for both blood and saliva for their tests. The Oragene solution is really 100% all-in-one solution, from collection and stabilization to transport and storage, DNA purification, and downstream applications, all in one solution. I'm going to focus on collection and stabilization. A very popular question is whether or not the DNA from saliva is equivalent to the DNA from blood. The answer is yes. The source of DNA in your saliva comes from two different sources: buccal epithelial cells and white blood cells. The majority of the DNA from your saliva comes from white blood cells, so around 70%. As a result, you are getting equivalent DNA to blood. We have compared the saliva samples on a majority of major downstream platforms: Affymetrix, Illumina, so microarrays, and next-gen sequencing. In both cases, we've seen high success for both call rates and concordance rates between blood and saliva. Now I'm going to talk to you about our self-collection kit. It looks like this. It's a tube with a funnel lid here. What happens is the participant spits 2 mL of saliva into the kit. I'm not going to show you here, but you spit directly into the kit. There's a 2 mL fill-to line. It's important that the saliva reaches the fill-to line. It's absolutely fine if bubbles are above this line. So once the participant has finished spitting or giving their sample, you simply close the flip lid here where our stabilizing chemistry is located. Again, I'm not going to do it on camera, but you get the idea. So once this is closed, you let the stabilizing chemistry drop down and mix and stabilize the DNA in your saliva. After that, you simply remove the screw cap and replace it with a screw cap lid. Then it's ready for transport or storage, whatever you need. With a 2 mL saliva sample, the median yield is 110 micrograms. You're getting high purity, 1.6 to 1.9, molecular weight greater than 23 kilobase pairs, stability years at ambient temperature, and the shelf life on the kit prior to use is 30 months or 2.5 years from the date of manufacture. This graph chart is really great as it describes the different collection methods. So we have blood, mouthwash, buccal swabs, and then our Oragene saliva kits. What I want to focus on here is the fact that it's non-invasive and painless. Anyone can do it. Stability years compared to blood, which is days or weeks for mouthwash, and again, days for buccal swabs. Low bacteria. So our stabilizing chemistry has a bacteriostatic agent. As a result, it inhibits any further bacterial growth in the sample, unlike mouthwash or a buccal swab. Another main point I want to highlight is the very high DNA yield you'll be getting with the saliva samples. Again, the median is 110 micrograms. It's standard for high throughput processing. The false bottom allows you to automate the sample. And if you wish, we can also customize the sample for you. Next, I want to discuss our assisted collection kit. So this format is recommended for young children or participants who might have difficulty spitting 2 mL of saliva on their own. It resembles the self-collection kit in the sense it's a tube here with a funnel lid, but where it differs is the fill-to line is 0.75, and it also comes with 2 accessory sponges. What you do is you stick the sponges in the cheek pocket, so between the cheek and the gum line where the saliva naturally pools, and you soak up the saliva in the participant's mouth. So you wait, get the sponge super saturated, and then there's a V-notch in the flip lid here. And you essentially stick the sponge in the V-notch and squeegee the sponge so the saliva drips down into the kit. So once again, you're dealing with liquid saliva. You can repeat this process as many times until you reach the fill-to line. Once the fill-to line is reached, same process applies. You close the flip lid, wait a few seconds, wait for all of the stabilizing chemistry to mix with the DNA in your saliva, and again, remove the funnel lid and replace it with a screw cap for transport or processing. For here, The median yield is 17.3 micrograms. Again, high purity ratio greater than 1.6. And again, stability for years at ambient temperature. For this chart, I want to focus on the Oragene assisted collection kit and buccal swabs. So two very huge differences: stability for years at ambient temperature with the assisted collection kit versus days, and a very high yield, so 17.3 micrograms compared to 2 micrograms with a buccal swab. The last point I really want to make is the bacterial content you'll get with using a buccal swab. Since you're actively activating the bacteria in the participant's mouth, it's on the swab versus a passive collection and a bacteriostatic agent, which really inhibits any further bacterial growth. Moving on to transport and storage. The top gel here uses different samples, so at 24 degrees Celsius, 37 and 50 degrees C, and we've looked at 0 days, 61 days, and 187 days. And you can see they're all very stable at the various temperatures. The bottom gel represents the saliva samples, stable for years, 5 years at ambient temperature. Saliva kits also resist various freeze-thaw cycles, which is important during transport. We're located in Canada and it does get very, very cold, so resisting freeze-thaw cycles is really important when sending kits through the mail in Canada. So really, as I've said, there's no environment that's too challenging for this sample type. Sending saliva through the mail is quite simple. All you need is 2 different pieces of material. 1, a bio bag with absorbent material, and 2, outer packaging that's labeled with the words exempt human specimen. So saliva is an exempt human specimen. It's non-hazardous, non-toxic, and requires no special import permits. As a result, packaging is minimal, so you do save money on packaging. Our shipping guidelines do adhere to the IATA guidelines, which is the International Air Transport Association. If sample traceability is important for your study, for example, you're collecting from thousands of different participants and you're interested in barcoding your samples, we have a solution for you. We have a format that comes with a standard 128C barcode on the tube itself. As well, it comes with 2 additional peelable barcodes for documents, etc. So if this is of interest, let us know. It's ideal for large-scale studies. Moving on to DNA purification. Our company sells an extraction reagent. It's called Prepit L2P, and it's used for the manual extraction of the DNA from the saliva kits. It's an ethanol-based precipitation extraction and suitable for a wide range of downstream applications, whether it be PCR or sequencing. We have 2 different protocols available, a 500 microliter aliquot protocol or a 4 milliliter sample protocol. Having said that, if you have or currently use a third-party manual or automated extraction platform, let us know. We've done tons of validation work using various different platforms and different methods, so let us know and we can send you whatever supporting documents we have. And if you have an automated platform, both high throughput or low throughput, we support it all. Downstream applications. So saliva samples are, again, ideal for any sort of downstream analysis, whether it be SNP genotyping, HLA typing, or whole genome amplification. We've worked very hard to have an extensive partnership program. We have 2 different types of partners here at DNA Genotech. We have services partners and then technology partners. Our services partners are academic labs, for example, that have proven experience with the saliva kits and offer services such as DNA purification or whatever type of analysis. Technology partners are commercial or diagnostic labs who we've worked with to establish protocols, and they've validated our saliva samples on their specific technology platforms. Our company now offers genomic services through our GenoFind Genomic Services program. So we accept samples back here for purification and analysis. With GenoFind, you would be working with one-on-one with our genomic services coordinator, who will work hard to customize the solution to meet your specific needs. We're the saliva experts, so we understand the importance of getting data back that can be interpreted by both geneticists and non-geneticists. When you're choosing a medical device, there are a few things we think you should keep in mind. The first would be the product qualities and values. Is your sample high quality, high quantity? Is it a reliable self-collection kit? Are you getting the stability that the product claims you should be getting? Is the product, the plastics, the chemistry, is it robust? This product value area is an area at DNA Genotek that we really excel in, and we work hard to prove and keep up the evidence in this specific area. I've spoken to the quality and quantity you can expect with the Oragene saliva kits. But just to further that, we have over 2,000 peer-reviewed publications, and we have over 6,000 customers in over 100 countries. We've recently done a study in the general public, and the data there showed that they rated us, 99% of them, rated us easy to very easy to use for self-collection. So the studies don't lie. This is definitely an area that DNA Genotek has mastered. Another area we think you should consider is regulatory. Is there quality control measures in place? Is it reproducible, or the test, the sample? And is there some sort of regulatory compliance? Here at DNA Genotek, we are ISO 13485 certified, meaning we've done rigorous testing and assurance procedures before going to market. We have an FDA Class 2 cleared kit in the US, and in Europe, we are CE in vitro diagnostic devices. The last thing you want to consider is the service that a company can offer you. Here at DNA Genotek, you have a dedicated account manager that will work with you from start to finish. We also have a great tech support crew that can troubleshoot any techie related issues you might have along the way. And as I mentioned, we also now offer genomic services. So we really are the full end-to-end solution, and we really try hard to collaborate with all our customers. In closing, if you're interested in more information or complimentary samples, please don't hesitate to get in contact with us. As I mentioned, your account manager would be happy to get in touch to ensure you get the right products for your needs. We look forward to hearing from you.